Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Country Cottage garden. It is, and I am whispering because we are in a village. It's early morning on a Friday. It's about 6:50, so I don't want to disturb my fellow neighbours, but I just want to capture the bird song and capture our garden as it is right now. I think it's the 25th of April, and some things are just doing so well that I don't want to miss them. Good morning, Mrs. Diddlemouse. So I'm going to go up here and say good morning to Jemima Puddle Duck, because next to her is the most beautiful Aquilegia, and right now it is just looking wonderful. This little spot here is in shade for most of the day, but for the early morning, and the sun has not long risen, but it gets the early morning sun. You can just see it creeping through on the obelisk over there in the background. Oh, that's Charlie, our pheasant. Did you hear him? So, let's have a little tour. Apple blossom. I get so excited by apple blossom. It's just so beautiful. And look at the size of these tulips. They're huge. So, I don't think for my last garden tour I have potted up these on here, on our little wall. So it's now filled with these beautiful pansies and a little pink rose. The bunnies have come to join them. On the wall we've got foxgloves growing. Just here, I planted out not long ago. I brought this from our old home, and it's the shoots of lily of the valley. So I'm so happy to see them, and I hope they bloom. Forget-me-nots, a stilby, different Aquilegia, little pinks. Good morning. I love things growing out of the wall. Look at the forget-me-nots. Come on, little pansies. You need to lift up. It's going to be a beautiful day and I'm hoping to work in the south garden. There's an awful lot of weeding that needs to be done. There's an awful lot of weeding needs to be done here. So this is obviously the working area at the moment with the new terrace. So I've been busy potting up seedlings of trees, conger, chestnut. Then we've got some more that I've potted on that my parents gave me. And here's a seedling of hawthorn. And also beech, because we've got more hedging that we want to do. I've also been digging up out of the paths that seeded last year, the beena, before they get too big, so I can put them into the garden. And these ones are a mixture of eryngium and some hollyhocks, and these were, you get them for £3 for £5 from Asda. I love shopping at garden centres, but when you've such a big area to fill with plants, I can't say no to £3 for £5. I do support my garden centres too, and these are good value actually as well. These are from a nursery in Chatburn, Newlands, and they do 3 of these big pots for £12. These are beautiful apricot foxgloves. So as you can see now, we've got our 2 big pots ready with our Portuguese laurel that I'm training. They came from Newlands as little bushes, little shrubs, and I'm just trying to cut off all the lower stems and grow them into a standard. Here's our hill. So this is everything that's been put on. We've got some flowers on our strawberries, so that's exciting. And then here in my work area, on the concrete slab, my potting bench. And here, now it was facing me last night, and it's turned round. But look, can I get the camera on it? My beautiful auricula. These are all the auriculas that I potted on. And a little tub of forget-me-nots. So now you can see, as we go back, our table and chairs. Now I need to empty this pot here because this other that I'm growing, Portuguese laurel, I want to transfer into this pot and have it here so it mirrors the one there. And this big pot is new, and it is a big pot if you compare it to the size of the sleepers. And again, so soon we're going to be filling all these pots with our summer bedding, and I go to Newlands for them in Chatburn. But this pot, I love this. So all the other pots we've got from garden centres, and that size alone can be £30–40. These, the recommended price for these is £70. Home Bargains has got this on offer, manager special, and we got this for £30. And it's huge. It's huge. Well, can you see next to the watering can? I love it. It's going to look fabulous when it's potted up. So the beds are really filling. Well, they're full. They're really growing. The borders I've been working on, they're doing well too. Look at this. This is the raven's wing. So that's going to be flowering soon. The phlox are growing. This is a seedling from the raven's wing that's gone back to its native, which I presume is like the cow parsley. You know, members of the Ami family. I'm hoping this rose recovers because the deer have badly eaten that. We've got lupins, alliums that are great, you know, turning into lovely buds. More alliums here. This rose is doing better. I'll just show you there you go, silhouette against the early morning sun. So now you can see the pot. Well, actually now you can see it compared to the size of the chairs. It really is quite big. Well, it's my biggest one anyway. So continuing down here, and the oval. Now you know this is all behind this wire fencing to protect my roses. And this, I mean, look at that. Can you make that out? That is the best it has been since we moved here. That's amazing. My David Austin rose. Don't ask me which one, I can't remember. I brought 4 David Austin roses with me from our old home. So there was Gentle Harmony, was it? Boscobel, Shropshire Lad, and the Generous Gardener. So in here, galloping on, we've got Acamilla mollis and 2 types of Astilbe. Ringim are in there, they're doing alright, and a little Veronica there. So continuing along, again, this rose here is doing so well, as is our aconitum and our phlox. The deer love the phlox, so that's also protected now behind here. And so far, this little fence, even though I know they could jump probably twice as high as this, but I think because it's enclosed, they just haven't touched it, they've left it to be. So here we are. There we go, looking back at our border. So I continued working along here, just been digging seedlings out of the gravel path. That's the great thing about the gravel paths. I mean, they are high maintenance, but things seed into it easily and I can transport them. So all the foxgloves and things like Astrantia, Acamilla mollis, I can just, and these here, forget-me-nots, I can just gently pull them out of the gravel path and plant them where I need them to be. So the next bit of work in progress, we need to finish off this compost bay, and we've started clearing this section. It was full of all our empty pots and we don't need them all, so we're sorting out what we do want to keep and the rest we're just recycling. So we want to work on this area and create 2 nice raised beds, continue the gravel path, so hopefully that's going to start looking better. The plants here in our little nursery section I've been potting on, so those are what we've just seen as we walk down the other path. And then I've been weeding and digging out the thugs from this bed. So here we've got our little arch. I'll look back at it in a second. So right now, let's just take in fact, if I go through here, actually, so I need to sweep all this out, clear all this. The deer come down here though, and through there, and I'm hoping by putting these fallen branches, I might just put them off a bit, who knows. But yes, you can see our archway there, and then the little picket fence. Because I do like to create rooms. I think if I can section it off, it makes it more manageable as well, and gives interest. And all the fencing, it's all made out of old pallets. But we need to concrete these posts because they have taken a battering with the wind, and one of the branches fell against it off the trees. So again, lots of these Verbena, Aquilegia, even all of these have all kind of been pulled up out of the paths and potted on in this bed here. Here we've got a gold crest that I'm topiarising, but the deer have enjoyed that. They have been attacking and eating because I trimmed it, they were able to get to the stem and had a good chew. Never mind, hopefully it will recover. So obviously this is all here to try and just retain this grass, because otherwise it just covers our path and seeds everywhere. So this is where I next want to mulch. There's still so much more weeding to do in here. It's just, the weeds are just prolific. Not quite so bad here as in other areas. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little update of our garden. And next time it'll probably look completely different again, because all the summer bedding will be potted up. So I hope you enjoyed this little garden tour. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.